They're not going to let you talk, I'm afraid. There you go. Now you got it. Go ahead.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
Now, while we're on the subject of China, I don't know how much of the history of this valley you know about, but 30 or some years ago, this area was high on the steel mill area.
Yes, sir.
And since then, the Chinese industry has dumped millions of tons of their cheap steel on the market, and it has closed how many steel mills in this country? What's your plan to stop that from happening anymore, be it the steel industry or any other industry in this country? How are you going to plan on stopping the cheap dumping of foreign goods into this country's market and stop companies and jobs from going overseas?
Thank you. And I thank you for the question, and I'm glad I recognize you. And hang on to the mic there. I think that what the people here in Youngstown, state of Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Michigan, has been hard and tough and tragic. And people have been lost their jobs and their livelihoods that not only they held, but sometimes their parents and their grandparents, particularly in this area of the country. It's not just steel mills. If you went with me to the state of South Carolina, you would see where the textile mills have all closed down and have left this country as well. And that's something that has happened, which is regrettable. And I have to give you some straight talk. I can't turn that around. Now, some specialty steel mills are doing well in America. There is some more productivity, et cetera, et cetera. But I can't look you in the eye and tell you that I believe those jobs are coming back any more than I believe that the textile mills are coming back. But I would argue with you that today, for example, 1.3 million people in the world make a living off eBay. Most of those are in the United States of America. We have been, thanks to the information technology, thanks to Google, to Yahoo, to Microsoft, to all of these incredible worldwide and national corporations that have employed many, many thousands of people. What's the problem? The problem, we're glad of that, but what comfort is that to someone here in Youngstown? Well, what we got to do is provide them with the education and training programs that work. I'd like to see more of what's happening here at Youngstown State. I'd like to see more at the community colleges where they design and implement programs that work. Now, U.S. Steel just decided in the last few weeks to locate in Wilcox County in Alabama, which is the poorest county, one by all judgment, if not the poorest, one of the poorest counties in America. We've got to provide U.S. Steel with the trained and educated workers to work there. I would also argue that sometimes we need to have governments incentivize skilled workers and training programs. In South Carolina today, if a new business locates in the state of South Carolina, the South Carolina state government will provide for the education and training for the workers of those new businesses that come there. So I think there are some government measures that can be taken. But I can't tell you that these jobs are ever going to come back to this magnificent part of the country. But I can tell you that I will commit myself to providing these workers who have lost their job with another chance, a second chance. They need it, they deserve it. And unless they get education and training programs, I believe implemented by institutions like this one and community colleges all over America, they won't have a second chance. I know that's small comfort to you. But I can't look you in the eye and tell you that those steel mills are coming back. And I can't tell the people of South Carolina that the textile mills are coming back. But I can tell you that I'm going to do everything in my power, and I will get it done, to provide people with the necessary education and training to have a better job and a better future than the one their parents had. That's the American dream. Now, please follow up.
Is there anything the government can do to stop foreign countries that from dumping their export on our market and, forcing us to lose the steel mills or the textile mills or whatever else we're losing because of foreign companies.
Thank you. There is a process which is cumbersome and long and frustrating, and it's called WTO, and we can bring suit against these companies and corporations and countries, because we all know in some of these countries, like China, the companies or corporations are indivisible from the government itself. And so we'll have to do more of that. We have to insist on fair and open competition and fair and open trade, in my view. And we have to be more vigorous in pursuing those cases where there is blatant violations such as you described. I pledge to you I will do that. But I also have to, again, look you in the eye. I believe in free trade because I think that it's a benefit. But the reason that gives free trade has a bad name, particularly here in Ohio, and it is as a bad name, is because we've allowed violations of free trade, and we've allowed an unplaying field such as you just described. And I will renew and redouble the efforts to make sure that that level playing field is level and even. But I again have to tell you, I believe the future economy of America does not lie in the old industries. I believe it lies in the new technology. And we are undergoing a transformation, the likes of which the world has not seen since the information technology revolution. And the industrial revolution. I thank you. Yes, sir. I want everybody to hear you.
All right. My name's Nasib Khalil. I'm honored that you're here, Senator. What are you going to do to drive the food costs low in America? Because I know they are really, really high. I know bread is high and wheat is high and everything else is going up because of the oil prices. What are you going to do to drive that down?
First of all, we have to obviously, as I mentioned, and I probably mentioned at too much length our need for independence on foreign oil. There's so many products that come from petroleum, containers, so many things that petroleum has a direct effect on. But I also have to tell you, and I have to give you some straight talk again. When we subsidize ethanol, and I went to Iowa and told them I didn't approve of those subsidies, and we put tariffs on imported ethanol that is made from sugarcane, then we distort the market. We distort the marketplace. And so people are growing corn to make ethanol rather than corn to feed people. And so there is, because of worldwide drought and other conditions, there is a declining agricultural output throughout the world. But there's no sense, and I'm not saying that subsidizing ethanol is the sole cause of the problem, but I'm saying don't distort the market. I'm saying encourage the agricultural sector to grow and feed America and feed the world. That's our job, and that's something that we've done with I think incredible charity. But I believe that we are now facing a crunch in the world of hunger that could lead to dislocations in the world because of so many millions and millions and millions of people that are going hungry today because the food prices, and it's not just corn, wheat, rice, the cost of rice, which is a staple in so many parts of the world, is up. And we may have to ask Americans to grow more agricultural products. But I think it's profitable for them to do so, and we should base it on market-based motives rather than artificially distorting the market. But I really believe that a major part of this problem goes back to this dramatic increase in the cost of a barrel of oil. Now, Carly and I were talking earlier. Some experts told her that the price is going to go to $125 a barrel. Now, a couple of years ago, if we were having this town hall meeting and I'd have told you that the price of oil is $125 a barrel, you would have thought that I was not very rational, to say the least. So this is a huge problem. Did you want to follow up real quick, and then I'll go down? Yes, sir.
That's perfect. Thank you for answering my question.